This is Cars and Bids.
I'm Kenan.
I'm Filippo.
And today we have a challenge.
Yet another one.
What this time?
We are going to find the car from the farthest away. We're going to go out into the world and find the farthest license plate. 1 hour. Let's discuss some ground rules. We are in San Diego, which is the very southwestern corner of the America.
Continental United States.
I'll take that. I think it's measured to the state capital of the state or province or Mexican state that you find a car from. So if it's Maine, you can't be like, but it could have been from the furthest away town.
Right. The capital. What if somebody has a BMW with like a fake German plate on the front?
That does not count.
All right.
Just because
But an actual foreign plate counts.
An actual foreign plate counts.
Okay, I have another rule that I think may be controversial. I think Hawaii should not count. Because we're all going to see Hawaii.
We're going to see so many Hawaii.
Common in San Diego. We're all going to see it. We're all going to come back here and we're all
Are we going to count Alaska in that too?
And Hawaii is the furthest state.
So you don't want to count any, just the continental?
No. Just
Hawaii.
Just Hawaii.
Really?
I'm sorry to everybody.
You're not going to count the same Alaska
If you can see in Alaska, do it. It's hard to find Alaska. Hawaii is easy. I see 3 Hawaii plates every day in San Diego.
Big military presence, lots of people formally stationed in Hawaii.
And the ship comes in here. I mean, like, I think Hawaii should be out.
Okay.
So anything else is on the table.
I support that rule.
Anything else is on the table. You find Alaska, you better run with it.
I will.
And also, the distance is measured in straight line distance, not driving distance.
Okay, as the crow flies.
As the crow flies.
Okay.
Might be a long flight for that crow.
I was behind a Volkswagen Transporter from Germany on the way to work today. Yes.
Did you stop and ask them where they're going to be parked around?
At about 3 o'clock, can you? No, he drove off.
Alas.
All right, we doing this?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay, a couple of things to point out here. For one, you will notice that I'm in my Mercedes-Benz station wagon, not my Ford GT like our last challenge. The reason for that is it's comfortable. It's nice in here.
We've left the office. We're now looking for the furthest away license plate.
And the hunt begins.
Parked on residential streets, a lot of people in San Diego aren't from San Diego. They moved here recently-ish, potentially. They still have out-of-state plates. So there's like a reasonable bet. For example, Texas, right there. It doesn't matter though, we'll see better than Texas. So that's one strategy. And I will drive around residential streets just looking as I go for the furthest away license plate.
This is kind of an interesting challenge because San Diego is a transient city. There are a lot of people that are here from other places. There are a lot of people here from the military, so they're from all over the country. And there are also a lot of like Mexican plates because Mexico is so close, so people come up often. So this is a great challenge for San Diego. And there's also like, the strategy, unlike the other challenges we've had, is relatively limited because you can kind of pick like what part of town you want to look in.
We're gonna go to the zoo. Our office is only a few blocks away from the zoo, and the San Diego Zoo is world renowned for being one of the greatest zoos in the world, even though they don't have any rhinos.
There's a second strategy though, which is go to places where people that are driving from across the country and from out of town go.
The zoo, unfortunately, last week was spring break. It was packed. This week, I already have been to the zoo parking lot this morning filming a different video. It's gonna be less packed.
And we're incredibly close to the San Diego Zoo, which is a major attraction.
Now, if these guys aren't thinking zoo first, they're insane. They might not be thinking that because they're not as brilliant as me.
Zoo parking lot is our first real stop here. And Douglas just crossed in front of us. He, I'm willing to bet, has the same exact idea.
I am choosing Balboa Park, which is a very popular tourist destination here in San Diego. It has many very large parking lots with lots of cars in them, and so I think that's probably a pretty good place to go. I'm checking every license plate as we're driving along. A lot of California. I haven't seen one other state yet, so we'll certainly see.
You'd be surprised how many times you see campers from Europe here in San Diego, because it's like part of like a great European adventure to ship your camper to the US and then drive the whole coast of California.
The annoying thing is that Doug will be very good at this because he loves license plates. I think in order of operations, it's his family and Noodle, his houses, his cars, and license plates. Those are the things he loves.
There's Vermont. That will be a good beginning. Oh, I don't want Filippo to see.
Oh, what did Doug potentially spot here?
He's behind me. He's behind me. Oh, no.
Oh, interesting. Doug saw something. I didn't see it. Pennsylvania over there, but we'll see better than that.
Okay, good. He turned. Or he went straight. I turned. He's going to go to the zoo also, which is smart.
I'm concerned that I missed something, knowing that Doug just turned around behind me. But that's okay. We've got an hour. I'm not looking for the most expensive car. I'm looking for the furthest away license plate, and that's a little bit more random.
Now, we have a rule that it actually has to be visible on camera. And so I'm going to be very clear here. Vermont, we actually have to see it. But that camper is from Vermont, and that is far away. The only two states I think that are further are New Hampshire and Maine, and maybe Alaska. I got to look that up.
Oh, that one looks like an out-of-state plate. That one is Nevada. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We're starting off slow, but we're getting somewhere.
So we already have a pretty good starting point. You know, Massachusetts, Florida, all that stuff, meaningless to us today.
California. There's a Mexico plate there. I think that's the only foreign plate we'll see today. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's the only foreign plate.
Yes, Filippo's going straight to the zoo, just as we thought he would. Now, a goal of mine is to start looking to see if we can find a foreign market camper.
We're gonna just do a quick cruise through the zoo parking lot, just keeping my head on a swivel, both for children and families, but also for their license plates.
I have a good feeling about Balboa Park. We'll see if it lets us down, but I just have a good feeling.
Smart Filippo, smart Filippo. Meanwhile, Kevin's probably at a mall.
We might have to change strategies here. This one is not looking super popular. We're at this one already, so I'm gonna do this one. Oh, Michigan, here we go. Solid one.
I will admit, at the malls, you do see a lot of cars from Mexico. There are wealthy Mexicans who come to the malls in the US and spend real money.
Here's another Mexico one.
The problem is Mexican license plates say the state that they're from, and almost all of the Mexicans who come to San Diego are like a nearby state because they've driven here.
Where is that plate from? I have truly no idea where that plate is from. Check out the front plate, if there's a front plate. No way to know. Truly no way to know.
You sometimes see Mexican plates from Mexico City, which is quite far, but it's not going to be further than Vermont, I'll tell you that.
My knowledge of Mexican provincial plates does not run that deep.
Okay, Florida, easy. Minnesota, easy. Texas, these are nothing for us. Washington, ooh, two-door RAV4. Now that is special. If only we were playing the Find a Two-Door Obscure SUV game, I would beat Filippo.
Oh, look at this. This is very cool. Oh, very old California, I think, state rep plate, I think, or Olympic plate, rather. Very cool to see. Not helping us here necessarily, but really cool to see one of those. You don't see them often.
Filippo's going to be very excited and celebrates when he sees, like, Massachusetts, and I'm going to be like, no, hon, no.
Massachusetts. All right. That is so far, I think, Boston, that would be the furthest so far that we've seen. The great state of Massachusetts, the spirit of America.
Here's a Cybertruck. That's from Mars, we should say. Ha 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 ha.
Not as much as I was hoping to see there. We'll try that other parking lot because that was still good, and we're here. We'll kind of work our way back, and then I think we'll try some other neighborhoods, and we'll see. Thank you very much. We'll see what we come across.
Ooh, Lexus IS300 Sport Cross. Now that is rare. There's New Jersey, Maryland. We've seen every East Coast state. Not North Carolina. They're like, I don't want to go to California. You don't want to see hippos? You don't want to see koalas? Where are the people from Alaska? Though they get to see hippos every day? I don't think so.
The number of times I've driven around this parking lot looking for parking, I can't count the number of times. I've done this so many times because it's such a beautiful place to come, but it's always very popular and there are a lot of people.
Oh, there's New Hampshire. New Hampshire beats Vermont, so that's actually a really big deal. I bet Filippo saw this and just pieced out from the zoo.
Oh wait, what? Oh, that's an aftermarket, like, European-looking plate. Imagine if that had a Euro plate. That would have been so cool. Not only would we have won because of the plate, but we would have won because we saw a Brabus 4x4 squid. Who is that just out at Balboa Park in that vehicle? What an insane spot that is.
Where is Filippo? Where did he go?
So, where to next, you might be wondering? I have not decided yet. I need to see something further away than the state of Pennsylvania.
I don't want to tie for first, okay? Occasionally I tie for first in these challenges. I don't want to tie for first. I want to win. Outright win.
There is a parking lot in an area of town called OB.
There is a beach parking lot in Ocean Beach that always has cars from everywhere.
This has a lot of campers, etc., where people go, and it's close enough that I think that that's realistic to make it there and back. So that is next up. Ooh, a Dodge Hornet.
So we're going to the beach, and we're going to see a car from Maine, and then we're going to see a car from Mongolia. That's my plan. Well, you know what they don't get to see in Maine or Alaska? Is a beach. Those people have never seen a beach in their lives, and so a beach we will give them.
Oh my goodness, Maine disabled veteran. I was looking for vacation land and did not see it, but Maine disabled veteran. Maine is up there among the best that I can possibly get. So I will take that as an early victory. I have 50 more minutes before we got to be back, so it should be doable.
Now that we've established that, I'm going to try one of the other parking lots, and then I think we're going to try a slightly different tactic because it's 150. We have a lot of time to play with here. We can kind of drive around and just see what we find.
He set up the camping chair to watch the cars go, but this is a giant park. He could be anywhere in the middle of the park looking at the nature. He decided to see the cars. To be fair, I've done that before, but not here. We did it one time. We did that at PCH in Orange County, and we just set up chairs and watched all the exotic cars go by for a day. It was the most lovely day of my life. And then I had kids. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, no, that parking lot is so full. I feel like we should do. We feel like we should do that. The zoo is a happening place. Oh, yes! Maine! Ha-ha! That is what I have been looking for. All right, yes, Maine, good.
Oh my goodness, Maine disabled veteran.
Glad to have that one in the tank and just nicely parked. Oh, never before, and a disabled veteran. Thank you for your service, sir, and thank you for visiting the great state of California from the great state of Maine. Woo! All right, that's a good spot to be in. I'm so happy. Woo! All right.
Ken and I don't think really gave a lot of thought to like where to go, so I think he just kind of exists. That is a camper, and it appears to be in the park, but I'm not gonna chase it. People from Maine don't have campers. People from Maine have like rusted out Ford Taurus wagons. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a nice Taurus wagon with some rust.
I think Doug is going to go to neighborhoods. I think he's going to look in and around like kind of people that are parked outside at neighborhoods. I think that's what he's going to do. Filippo, I almost think Filippo chooses the exact same tactic he did last time, and he goes to like the airport, which is not a great call because usually you're being dropped off by a local to go somewhere. So travel is the right idea, but I don't think that will do it.
Is that Kennan? That's Kennan. What's he doing here at the Air and Space Museum?
I could also see Doug trying to go downtown. There goes Doug.
He's nuts. He's not going to see him there. He's probably like, oh, I saw Connecticut. Connecticut's not going to do it, Kennan.
He's going downtown. What did I say?
Not today.
If Doug had spent that amount of time and we saw him where he was, that means he looked all around, kind of in and around the office. That's what he just spent all that time doing. I get a feeling that if we saw him continuing to go that direction, he didn't necessarily find exactly what he was looking for.
I think we can only be beaten right now by Maine or Alaska, but I bet we'll get one or both.
One thing that everybody should know about Doug, this is how Doug spends his free time.
This will be Doug's favorite challenge because he loves looking at license plates.
When he's not busy, he will just go to parking lots and look for out-of-state plates. As a result, he's quite good at spotting out-of-state plates. He knows them all well. He would have known what that Mexico plate that we saw was from.
Riding around in my Mercedes, which is a car that I love, looking for license plates, that's kind of a dream day for me. I'm kind of into that just generally. I think if I was retired, I would probably do that as sort of a normal course of a day kind of thing.
Of course, the benefit that he doesn't have is I don't think he saw Maine. So, works out. Kennan is going to be a wild card in this challenge.
A great state of Pennsylvania. Not really getting us anything there, but nice to acknowledge its existence.
He moves slowly. I don't think he cares if somebody's from Maine. I don't really consider Kennan competition. That said, I've thought that for every single game we've done here at Cars and Bids, and it turns out that he has beat me at some.
We came here and we walked away with Massachusetts. So that's, we got that going for us. So let's see.
So maybe that's not the right approach, but I'm not too worried about Kennan.
Now, one good benefit is that both Maine and Alaska have front plates in addition to rear plates. So we can see it from all angles.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. Are there any embassies in San Diego? Canadian consulate, General Consulate of Finland. Now that we have that in the bag, we have Maine. I've gotten, I think, as far as we can get with the United States. I'm now counting on Finland.
This is going to be just a quick sweep. I'm not expecting much of anything, Montana.
You know what we should have done is just driven onto an overpass. Probably seen like 12,000 cars in an hour.
That was the least fruitful little loop I've ever done.
It is fun having an excuse to look at people's license plates. Like if the plate matches the car in terms of age. And Doug's in my friend group, that's how we determine if someone's really legit. If you drive an old car in California and you have an old California plate with it, that means the car has lived here since it was new, and that is really, really cool.
There's something about Subaru Foresters with a ton of bumper stickers. Oh, they're from California. Wow, how boring. I really thought I had something there.
I think we're gonna win, just due to sheer force of determination.
All right, we see a Hawaii plate up ahead. Unfortunately, Hawaii doesn't count.
I think Hawaii should not count.
That is a rule that I agreed to for some reason.
So we got New Hampshire in the bag. I think the only states that can beat us are Maine and possibly Alaska.
All right, we saw Maine, which makes this legitimately kind of interesting. I don't need to look for other US plates unless they're Alaska, far southern Mexico plates. Canada, there are Canadian cars here sometimes.
Here's a motorhome, Cruise Canada, but it's got a Washington plate and is in California. Sir, you were supposed to cruise Canada.
And European, usually vans. Not really anything else from Europe here.
That's what we really need to win at this stage, I think, is a foreign market plate that's not Mexico.
And when I show up at the meeting point in an hour, Filippo is gonna cry.
Just worried, because Doug is very good at with license plates. This plays right into his hands, and I desperately do not want him to win.
My goal in this challenge, as in all challenges, is to make Filippo cry.
I think Filippo and I both, I don't care if Filippo beats me, I just want Doug to lose. That's what we're hoping for today. I want to see him lose.
This is where we see Alaska. This is where we see Alaska. We have to beat Filippo.
You know, I would almost take tying as a victory. Just as long as he doesn't outright win. That's all I want for this challenge. I just don't want him to win.
We are on our way to the beaches.
The things I know I can beat Doug in, hands down every time. He doesn't know anything about spices. Paprika, right over his head. Cinnamon, cumin, thyme, no.
Water! We've reached water!
Tying knots, he only knows how to tie his shoes and only in one orientation. Like, if you had to have him tie your shoes, he couldn't do it. He would have to stand behind you and tie your shoes. Him one day teaching his sons how to tie ties will be a sight to behold.
Kennan is going to show up with Nevada and be like, yeah, well, Carson City, it's pretty far. It's like 12 hours.
So this is a U.S. government plate, which technically, this capital of the United States government is Washington, D.C. I know it's not further than Massachusetts, but wanted to throw that one in there for Doug. He might appreciate that.
He's going to show up and be like, Florida. And we're going to be like, yeah. But that's the furthest.
I feel like Kennan is probably at Florida.
On the G-Wagon. Florida is pretty far.
If he got lucky, he saw his home state of Ohio.
Ohio, what a surprise. Kennan's people. Look at this ridiculous Ohio camper.
And just because we're at an embassy does not necessarily mean that we'll see Italian registered plates. We're so far from Italy or any of these countries that like getting it here would be difficult. It's like DC is a lot easier if you're coming from anywhere in Europe. So yeah, maybe we'll see. Nothing. Well, good to know where the Italian embassy is. Anyway.
I also would not be the least bit surprised if we see Kenan or Doug here.
People, come from Alaska. To all the Alaskans watching, San Diego is a beautiful place, and you really ought to come and visit in the next 37 minutes, if you could.
Oh, that's a shame. Fisker Ocean with the license plate Ocean 1. Well, as we've talked about many times on the podcast, seems more like Ocean Lost, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so this is the parking lot. Connecticut, it opens with a Connecticut. That's a great sign.
Got some campers. That's a good sign.
Quebec. I don't know if Quebec is further though. We've got it notched.
Ooh, Volkswagen Vanagon with Quebec plates. You know, even if we don't see France, we'll at least have seen a French-speaking province. And that may as well be France, and I will make that argument later if I need to.
Man, Texas Tesla. That feels like a long drive. A lot of stops. Nothing. All California registered. Dang.
There's Maine. Yes. Blue Rev 4 has the brand new Maine plate, and it says EmersonToyota.com on it. It's a service loaner. He's got a long ride. Okay, Maine is good.
Oh. I think since the front plate is fake and in English, it will be a U.S. car. But we're going to double check real quick. Yeah. Arizona. Ugh, back in the car we go.
Give me Europe. New Jersey, California, no Europe. Damn it. Okay, we got Maine. That is great. That's a great start. We're doing great.
While we're parked here, I'm also just gonna check where the people are. And hey, look at that. Doug, same exact idea as we had. Kenan, on the other hand, Kenan is currently downtown for reasons that we will never understand.
Now I'm just like looking for a long rectangular license plate, hoping to see one European. Man, can you imagine sending your car? I've always wanted to do that. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to send my car to Europe. Imagine being in Europe and seeing a plate from California. It'd be so cool.
We're gonna go to some sand. Yeah, we're going off-roading. Woo!
Now, the one thing that I think is legitimately a possibility here on the cliffs is Europe. When you come here at sunset, you will see all 50 states in 9 minutes if you're looking. California. Well, that doesn't help. Oh, we got to turn around like now. It says 234. Oh no.
Heading back to the office, having spotted many great license plates, and Doug Shirley having spotted none. None, I tell you, none.
Oh, 993. Oh, look at that individual just out for a lovely drive on a beautiful day in a classic Porsche. Back to the Bat Cave.
Oh, 355. A real 355. That is absolutely bizarre. Alaska is a dream, an achievable dream. A distant dream is seeing someone from France and making Filippo cry.
This is what everybody does on their Wednesday afternoons, right? You go out for a drive, look at license plates, beat your founder and vaguely boss. This is a pretty okay job, isn't it?
Juneau to San Diego distance. 1972. That's nothing. We win with Maine. Maine is way farther than that.
It's going to take us up to 163, which is the single worst part of civil engineering in all of San Diego. It goes from 7 lanes in each direction to 1 lane. It is so bad. It's the absolute worst. I hate that more than I hate modifications to cars. It's just infuriating.
Fittingly, I see Doug.
Oh my God, it's Filippo! No! He probably did the same thing as me. He probably saw the Maine people.
We have passed Douglas. Now, that gets me literally nothing. We'll both be back at the office with plenty of time, but it adds intrigue.
We have to find Europe, and we have to find Europe on the drive back. We're gonna end up tying for first. Kenan will have seen like New York and stopped for a cappuccino.
I really wonder where Filippo went. because he chose so poorly last time. This one he might do better with this one, but we'll find out.
Damn it, I think Filippo's gonna have Maine. He doesn't deserve it. He stole my ideas. Both places he was after me to. He's a cheater and a liar. And I only can hope that he didn't see Maine. And if he did, I'll have to kill him.
Hey, there's Doug.
Why did he do anything other than what I did? Whatever he did was slower. You know, it's gonna come down to zip code. So here's what we're gonna do. We're both gonna have Maine.
Did Doug see the Alaska plate? I don't know. Well, I have some level of confidence that he did.
But I saw that second Maine plate in that other little parking lot that I bet he didn't go into. So then we're gonna see which Maine is furthest. And then I will win.
This is fun though. I love what license plates tell you about people. License plates, license plate frames, and the car, like all in context with one another, tells you a lot of information about somebody.
All right, well, Doug's gonna beat us back to the office. Barely. I feel relatively good about this. We got Alaska, we got Quebec, we got Vermont, we got Maine, and we got Durango and Baja California. Let's wave to our friends.
I'm pretty confident in at least a tie, and then we'll see how it goes. Get out! Where's Kenan?
Did you see where Kenan went?
No, where'd he go?
Kenan went downtown. Why? We'll never know.
From day one, I was like, this is gonna be between me and Filippo. Here he is, he's here.
Look at that precision. 2:34 p.m. Not too bad.
What happened? Should we just say?
Where did you go?
Well, first
Better
off, we
places
both
than
went
you.
to the same place.
Which is
we
the
went to the
correct
zoo.
place. We went to
Oh,
Ocean
we all
Beach.
went to the same.
We all went to the zoo.
We all-
and then we went to
Ocean
Ocean Beach,
Beach.
because that's where all the tourists
The
go.
OB parking
He
lot
said he
with
went
the dog
downtown.
beaches.
Yeah, I was.
Why? What were you hoping to see downtown?
I
From
was
Mexico?
like, no, I was like, let's go to
Germany?
Where are the embassies? So I started to go to.
There aren't any.
There embassy in San Diego?
There aren't many, admittedly.
What is the furthest you saw?
Vermont, Maine, Quebec, Alaska.
Yeah, I saw Maine, which was.
Yeah,
which
we
was
all
the
saw
furthest.
Maine.
I saw Maine.
We're gonna go down. Let's take the cars downstairs. We're gonna go downstairs, and we're gonna figure out who is
Filippo,
number
this is our
one.
shot.
This is your chance to beat me for once.
All right. That's
Okay,
great.
we're going downstairs. We're
All
gonna
right.
do zip code.
All right, to the back
Go.
cave. Let's go.
Who won indeed? The answer is we don't know.
It's just the state of Maine.
So the Maine has a weird thing where they issue the same license plate number to many different types of license plate. And so my plates that we found by the beach, they all came back. We know the zip codes where they are,
Yeah.
and we know where they're from.
Right.
But the one that you guys both found
Disabled
is
veteran
a
plate.
disabled veteran plate, and because of that, Maine has all sorts of different types of plates with that same plate number, and so it doesn't pull in any of the apps that we have, and so we will never know who won. But obviously, it was me.
That is not the case
Not
at
Doug.
all.
So this, in the
Not
end,
Doug at all.
You can't disparage this man for having served our country and was
No, I
disabled.
disparage the DMV of Maine and Connecticut and Massachusetts and about 6 other states that issued the same.